One of the most annoying things about input lag is finding the weeds, but not removing the root. What do I mean by that? You go through exercises, making changes in Windows, small or large, network, video, sound, pay for new systems, only to find out it's one of those stupid OS issues. I'm talking about Windows display scaling being used. Forced, but it's not just that. I'm talking about Windows scaling being used for resolutions not being accepted on your monitor. You didn't expect that one, did you? But what could I be talking about? Well, more for streamers and content creators utilizing pass-through mode with capture cards such as 4K capture cards connected to a 1080p monitor, leveraging so-called zero lag or zero latency, only to find out settings are not correct. It's downright frustrating and creates a sour taste in people's mouths. So how do you fix this? Now I'll get into it, taking on the topics of streaming in pass-through mode plus your main PC, as well as for everyone else. Yeah, I'm covering all angles. So are you ready? We're going to get the utility called Custom Resolution Utility. It's an app. It allows you to customize resolutions, but for the purpose of this is we're going to troubleshoot and address the forced Windows display scaling. Let's get the app. On Google, search CRU and go to Custom Resolution Utility. Should be your first link. Then there's an app here. Download CRU 1.42 of this recording, save it and extract it. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to open up CRU. And by default, it's going to list the monitor you are currently using on this PC. So this is actually my streaming and editing PC, and it's also the PC that I'm recording on. So currently this is set to 60 Hertz on this monitor. I select the drop down arrow and I got a whole bunch of different options in here, including duplicate monitors that were plugged in at one point. Could be the same monitor, monitors could have been flipped around and so forth. You may have done this, you may not have, depending on how old your computer is and how long you've had Windows 10 installed on your PC. You could have many more items on here than me. The capture card, in my case, is an Avermedia 4K 240 FPS 1080p capture card. And its native resolution is 4K. That's not my native resolution for this monitor here. So you've got a couple things you can do. First, you can flip this and make your 1080p the native resolution by moving it up. And then when you hit OK, all you got to do is you hit restart 64. And then from there, your GPU is going to disable, re-enable, and the devices are going to reconnect. So your monitor that's currently connected in pass-through mode, if you've got it up in pass-through mode. This also applies if you have monitors that are, it's 1080p, but similar situation may not be a capture card where it's saying, okay, well, no, you can do 4K. No. This addresses that part as long as you have the correct monitor selected. So I'm going to hit restart 64. All right. So after I hit restart 64, it crashed OBS, it crashed Streamlabs OBS, it crashed my camera app and driver. I had to restart them. So if you're going to do this, make sure those apps are shut down first before you go through that exercise. Now, as I go back to CRU and I select the GC573, now this is first and that is second. So both of the resolutions are going to be present still. And there's still a chance that you may get some displays scaling being pushed over. But now Windows knows it thinks the 1080p at 240 Hertz is the native resolution, which is what you want, or your highest refresh rate possible on your monitor. So that's the first thing you can do. Now, The next thing you can do is you can basically wipe everything out from here. So you've got a couple ways of going about it. The first way is you go here and you hit reset all. The other way, which is a little safer, is you go into Device Manager, you go to Monitors, go to View, Show Hidden Devices, and all of these that are grayed out, just uninstall all of them. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to uninstall each and every single entry. And as I do this, what's going to end up happening is that Avermedia card is going to disappear, which is fine as long as it doesn't reappear. Now, in the event that it does reappear, you're simply going to have to leave it in there and either remove the 4K resolution, which, by the way, you may not be able to record in 4K if you ever connect to a 4K monitor unless you disconnect, reconnect the cable, or if you use an app like recentral or stream it OBS and set it to 4K resolution, then you may be able to trigger it back. There's a way of getting it back. I can't say for sure what it is at the moment, but this is one thing that just hit me like a ton of bricks a couple days ago. And we're just going to go through this exercise here. We're going to finish this off. We're going to leave the first monitor because that's this monitor that it's on right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually relaunch CRU, because now you should just see one monitor here. But when I restart it, there's probably going to be a second Zoe that's going to appear. Okay, we're back. So whether you went through and manually removed all the inactive monitors and then hit restart 64, or you went through the reset all and then restart 64, either way, you should be back at this place where it's going to state this is the resolution for the two monitors that are currently connected. Now, this is all fine. And we're okay on this PC because it's the streaming PC. But if you really wanted to, you can actually make a change here and you can edit this and say, well, I want to have this set to LCD reduced, and I want to set this to 120 hertz or 144 hertz. It's really just what this monitor is. And I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit OK. And what's going to end up happening is I'm going to just simply go into the display settings. I look at this and it's like, okay, well, this is recommended. And if I go into graphic settings, nope. Advanced display settings. See, it says can't do that there either. So that is weird. I guess it's a 2004. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Display properties. And you'll notice the 144 hertz has been knocked down to the bottom. So I'll just have to go find it and apply it. And that's basically it. It's now at 144 hertz. And that monitor is good to go. And that part there was optional, by the way. But on your streaming PC, as long as it's set so that your capture card is not outputting a resolution that your monitor can't handle, as long as it's not doing that, you're okay. But if it's doing that, you need to take some action steps and make these modifications so that you don't all of a sudden get randomly in your game out of range, or it starts to feel very unresponsive. There's some jitter and so forth. It just feels very out of place, very disconnected. So then if you don't do that, what happened with me was you start troubleshooting things like getting different cables, spending a whole bunch of money on stuff which is totally unnecessary, trying different monitors, trying different network algorithms, trying different port forwarding, trying different routers, trying traffic shaping. You start going through this exercise and it's really frustrating and painful, only to figure out it's like, oh, it's a display scaling issue. Oh, it's your Windows issue. It's like, come on, Microsoft. Come on, Avermedia. And if Elgato's doing it, come on, Elgato. Smarten up. So, and I really wish these companies that come out with these capture cards, I'm going to give you guys something for free. Okay? Listen very closely. Make a capture card that works with DisplayPort. Oh my gosh. You're welcome. I probably gave you a $100,000 idea. Anyway, now we're going to move on to our main PC, which will be applicable now for content creators, streamers, and everyone else. Okay, we've got CRU open on the gaming PC. And if you look here, it's got 4K resolution. This is the active one. So again, you can make the change, but you know, we're going to make a modification here. So we're going to go through the reset all on this one. And note, I'm running a test on this PC here, on the streaming PC or editing PC, outputting at 4K to see what it's going to do if this PC is going to still follow 1080p, or at least because the driver's not present, is it going to follow or run for 1080p? So reset all. So it's going to reset all the displays, restart 64. Let's see what's going to happen now. What do you know? On this PC, it says it's out of range. Why? Because on this PC, I open CRU up here again, it still only displays the 2 resolutions. But because I'm recording right now in 4K, it thinks, oh, well, I'm running at 4K. I have to output at this resolution. Okay, so I had to make a change. So I black screened, and I knew there was a risk of me black screening on my streaming PC after I refresh the display. What I did in CRU, you know, generally what the recommendation is, you go in here, you go edit, you set this to LCD reduced. But there is a way around this. So what you do, if you run into an issue like this, you go into the extension blocks, you go to edit, you find the highest resolution here that your monitor is capable of, which is this one, the 143.981 hertz. So you go here, you go to edit, take a screenshot of all this here. Take a screenshot, because really you got to plug in all these values and then you plug in this refresh rate. So the first 4 rows here, you got to plug all these in and then you plug in the refresh rate. Because otherwise, when I plugged in the refresh rate manually, this is where I got noticed, like, well, I can't put in 143.981 because it rounds up to 982. And then when I was looking at this manually, like, let's say I didn't do that and I went here, right? And I said, okay, I just want this. See, look what's happening here. It's giving me a different refresh rate, a different actual. a different horizontal that's grayed out, and a different pixel clock, which is grayed out. So it's incompatible. So that's what I did as a workaround to the black screen. So you can give that a try if you want. That's a little more advanced, but hey, that'll at least force the scaling to be at native. Now, if you want a lower resolution, you can do that. And simply, all you need to do is go into CRU. And of course, you do this on your gaming PC, not on your streaming or editing PC. But you would select the resolution in here. You would go to Edit. And you would make the adjustment to the same thing, LCD reduced, and try, changing this to put in 1280 by 720, and then set the refresh rate to your maximum refresh rate. But if you're concerned about black screening, again, go to your settings, go to your advanced display settings. Go to display adapter properties, go to list all modes, find 720p as an example. So we're going to grab 720p, this one. Okay. And then I'm just going to apply it. And it looks really horrible, right? And I get a pop-up saying suggested resolution is 1080p. And I'm just going to check to make sure I'm still recording. And I am, so that's good. So you look here. See, this refresh rate is not full 144 hertz. It's actually a decimal. And then if you go back into CRU, and if you look at this, it's like, okay, if I go into add, well, if I go into LCD reduce and start typing in 144, it may work and it may not. But if it doesn't work, this is where you got to go to this section here. You go to edit, you take the closest 720p, and if it's not listed in here, see if it's in one of these modes. And if it's not, well, this is where you're going to have to try to see what's going to work, because it's kind of a hit and miss game, if you will. But I would honestly add a resolution in here. But if not, if you're going to change it, you can try 720p and 144 hertz. I'm pretty sure this monitor is going to black screen. And if that happens, well, I have to go into safe mode and remove everything, go to reset all, and then reboot, come back in, and then start over again. So I'm not planning on doing that, but you can give that a shot and see if that will work for you. So I'm going to go back into list all modes. If I wanted to, from here, and go to 144 hertz. Okay, apply. And I'm still at 144 hertz. It feels actually pretty solid right now. And I go into the NVIDIA control panel, and it still says that it's native. And you'll see that as well. So now I'm going to switch back onto the gaming PC. I just want to let you guys know about this because you may run into this issue. Okay. On the gaming PC, we're back. If I open up CRU. Now I only have the 2 resolutions, so the 4K is gone, and I was recording in 4K, which caused the 4K to appear as a resolution here, and then eventually would appear on that PC, I would imagine. So that's probably one of my issues that I encountered, self-inflicted, I suppose, trying to record 4K or upscale to 4K. But now what we can do is we can do one of 2 options. we'll go here, we'll move this up, and then hit OK. And that's the actual, right? So we're gonna OK that. Actually, if I go here and edit, I'm gonna see the other resolutions that are listed here. OK that, restart. So now it's gonna change this, the native resolution to 240. See, now it's still showing at 6 FPS, but if I go into NVIDIA's control panel again, it's going to go, when I go to change resolution, this no longer says native resolution, but this does. But now with the scaler on this sucker, I've got something else I want to try. So I'm going to remove the 60 hertz because I don't want it. And I'm going to, actually I'm going to take a screen capture this guy. So print screen, let's paint, because you never know if you require this. And I'll just call it 240 hertz capture, just in case I have to go in and type them all in. Okay, so we're gonna blow it away. Boom. If I go back into this one, see, look at this one here, it's there, deleted, covered, add, and we're gonna go here, go reduced, and we're gonna type in 240 hertz, and then okay it. Now notice that if I go back into paint and just look at the capture, and if I compare, you know, the refresh rate is different. And looking at this, there's a risk of me black screening. So I'm gonna okay this. I have a different pixel clock. Gonna okay this again. And we are going to restart PC, or restart all. See what happens, and it's probably going to go out of range. No, we good. Okay, good. All right, so that worked really well. So it worked on this monitor, but it didn't work on the other monitor. So keep that in mind. This probably has a better scaler, or actually, hold on a minute. Proof is not in the pudding yet. Now we're gonna try it. Now we're gonna see. Does it work? Does it work? Oh, it worked. It worked. It worked. So that looks pretty good. As long as we don't have any bad pixels on here. Nothing visible. So it looks like we're in good shape. So for the Aorus K25DF, we're okay. On the Zowie, I think that's not the 240 hertz version, it's the 144 hertz version. The 2536, it doesn't work exactly what we use in that setting. So your mileage may vary in that case, but at least you're now stating to Windows, hey, the native resolution and the native scale is your maximum resolution and your maximum refresh rate. And again, if you do have problems and if it goes to black screen, reboot. You might have to reboot it a few times to trigger safe mode. If you, for whatever reason, if you reboot your system and your keyboard doesn't work, so you can't press F8, like it happened on my Ryzen system, I had to go in and force CSM mode on so that I can actually get in and make the change so that my keyboard was working. And also, if you've got fastboot on, fastboot can disable USB functionality, and I don't have fastboot on this system. I don't have fastboot on that system, but I had to put it in CSM for whatever reason. So those are a couple things you can try if you get some weird issues where you cannot get into safe mode correctly. Let me know if this has helped you in the comments. Does this make sense? I hope this has helped, again, streamers and content creators, gamers, and people that are sensitive to latency. This should help. And I'm not the only one that's creating content on this. There's other content creators that are creating content on this. You know, we don't own any of this. It's meant to be shared for free because ultimately we shouldn't have to deal with this shenanigans. And just keep an eye on your settings. And by the way, if you do update your NVIDIA drivers, you might have to do this again. So bear that in mind. Leave a like if you liked it. If you didn't like it, give me a reason why. Constructive criticism is okay. Trolls are not okay. Trolls are rejected. And a couple links as usual. Have a good one. See you next time.